Hello and welcome to Ziggy Air. Today we're going to have a short video on the Simbrief and Navigraph integration into the G1000 and G3000 systems here. And I'm here on the TBM 930, and this is a good example of how the integration works really well. You have this on several aircraft like the Longitude and some other aircraft that uses the G1000 and the G3000. So quickly, we're going to kind of go through the setup process, which is very simple. Just one thing, it requires you to have a Navigraph account. It's a paid account, so it's like a $10 US or something like that. All right, so let's take a look at the setup process and then some of the features here available. Today we planned a trip from Manchester, New Hampshire to Portland, Maine. And before I get started, I just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Ziggy, and Ziggy wants me to really let you know that if you are out there looking for a companion, a pet companion or a pet co-pilot like she is, she wants you to consider adoption and rescuing a pet at your local shelter. So here we are in Manchester, New Hampshire, and this is one thing that Ziggy wanted me to make sure I show you, because recently there was a well, let me show you the news that we got and that she was so excited about.
Some very vocal passengers arrived in Manchester from Fort Lauderdale today. 138 cats and kittens flew up to the Granite State thanks to a team effort between Greater Good Charities and shelters in New Hampshire, Maine, and Florida. And organizers say kitten season arrived with a vengeance down south. The shelters there are all over capacity.
The good news is, though, New England shelters haven't participated.
When we find that one has overcapacity and one has capacity, we try and work together to save as many lives as possible. Lives of animals that may not otherwise have had a chance.
The cats were all spayed, neutered, and vaccinated before flying to New Hampshire. They'll spend some time in quarantine before being processed by a local veterinarian, and then they will be available for adoption.
All right, so these kittens will be available throughout shelters in throughout New England, especially New Hampshire and Maine. So if you're in the area, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, check with your local shelters. So we are, I'm going to leave a link down below on the local shelters in the Manchester area and the Portland area where we are going to be flying to. So if you're looking for some of those kittens, you can check out their website and see if they have any of those available at the time. All right, let's get on with our video on integration of Navigraph and Simbrief into the G1000 and G3000. So let's get to hit Control 2, and we're going to be in our MFD. And the first thing you need to do, so if you're on the MFD here, you just come into the MFD, and then you're going to see now that there's a selection here for Simbrief. So you just click on in there, and in my case, I already have the connection to Simbrief, but if this is the first time you're doing this, you're gonna get a link request here to connect to your Simbrief and Navigraph accounts. Your Navigraph account. So either they have if you're on the Xbox, or you'll have a QR code And if you're in your PC, you just click the link for Navigraph, and then it will go to Navigraph, and then you just could include your credentials there. And once your credentials are verified, then you'll see if you have a flight plan, all your flight plans will show up over here once that process is completed. So in my case, I already have I created a flight plan from KMHT, which is Manchester, to KPWM in Portland, Maine. And what you need to do, so all of them will be available here, the ones that you've saved on your Simbrief account. So if you click on refresh, it will refresh it, and it will sort it by the last created flight plan. So all you need to do is just to request that flight plan, and then once it says ready for import, just click on import, and the flight plan will be loaded. So here we are, and then you can just first go through the flight plan, and here we are, departure in Manchester, and we have our waypoints here, and then our destination is KPWM, and here we are. So if you need to modify, you can modify. This is beyond the scope of this video. If you in terms of modifying a flight plan in the MFD here. But basically the procedures should be available. So if you click on procedures and you click on departures, they should be here, and here we're departing from runway 6, and then you can modify your departure here and your transitions and things like that. I'm just going to leave it like that, and just going to hit cancel, go back, and this flight plan looks pretty good to me, and so I'm just going to leave it like that. Now the other thing about this is that this is really exciting, is that you have your charts here, and there will be available here on your MFD. So right off the bat, the first chart that came up, just let me go back, click to the first chart that came up will be the airport chart, and the plane will be shown in the current location. Now you can kind of like modify the way this looks and move the charts around, and so if you're here in right now, I'm on the MFD, and this section is located, if you look at the pane, it shows the color here, and this is where it's active, the active selection is. Now you can have the full so you can come in and do the range, and you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can select the different types of charts here that are available in the airport section here for Manchester. So you can look at departure charts, you can zoom into that or zoom out. You can look at your arrivals, but this will be arrival into Manchester. If you wanted to look at the arrivals into Portland, you come in here and you just type in KPWM, and it will just automatically select the airport that you're looking for, and it will be shown here, Portland International Jetport, and you just click enter, and then the charts for Portland will be available here. So you have your airport information here in Portland. You will have the other ones, and then you can look at your arrivals. The plane is not here, so I'm not sure why that is the case, but anyway, it's probably shown at the edge of the chart. Yeah, that's what probably is the case. And then you can look at your approaches, and the different types of approaches here, the ILSs and the other approaches that are available in Portland. Now, the other thing that you can do here is you can go to your chart options, and then you can kind of like select the type of chart that you the type of zoom that you want to shown in here, and it's moving around here. So you can select your how the charts are displayed in the MFD here. So you can look at the fit the width for the chart and take a look at the the approach with all the information here. You can change the mode. You can just do, if you're doing night mode, for example, you can change that to, I usually leave it in auto, so if I'm flying during the day or night, it knows, automatically changes that. And then you can take a look at the different sections of the chart, like the plan, the profile, the minimums, and the header here with all the information, the ATIS and the localizer information and all that, and or you can click on all, and those are the chart options available. Pretty nifty, I think. So let's go back to Manchester. Right there, click on enter, go back to the airport information. Yeah, sometimes the zoom here, it's hard for me to grab it. There we go. So that's pretty nifty here on this. So if you can actually move these around if you wanted to. So if you wanted to be this, split the screen with your flight plan section in there, you can do that. So you can set up, you can have your charts on one side, and then you can have your flight plan on the other side, or you can have your map on this side. Let me go back to the chart, because what you can do is, if you have the chart on this side, you move the highlighted part of the MFD. So here we are at this color, so you know that it's highlighted here. Any changes you make here will be on this side, so you can come in and do your map here, the overall map, or you can just look at traffic like it was before. You can take a look at the weather, and certainly you just want to look at the weather and the complete focus on in the weather section here. You can do that, or you can just go back to your airport map and do your full screen. All right, so if you want to stay with me on our flight to Portland, we'll do a quick flight over there. It'll just take about half an hour or so, and we take a look at when we get there, we take a look at if they received any of those kittens. Okay, we're set up on our approach here. We're ready to catch the glide slope, I'm sorry. And we're just gonna hit approach. It's already in there, and we're probably gonna be doing that pretty soon here. I'm just gonna reduce our speed here. Actually, I forgot to switch here. Landing gear.
Portland Tower exit 1628 miles southeast inbound ILS runway 29er approach. Exit 162 Portland Tower. Altimeter 29er.71 wind 185 at 4. Cleared ILS runway 29er approach. Cleared to land runway 29er exit 162.
A little bit low on the profile. That's okay. Sometimes those PAPI lights are not correct. Those nice sounds from If It's Realistic. Set up the reverse thrust here, and I missed that exit here. It's a little bit late on it.
Dollar Alpha India Romeo turns next taxiway. Alpha India Romeo contact ground on 121.9er.
Via taxiway Bravo Alpha Daher Alpha India
Alright,
Romeo.
let's get into the charts here and use this feature here. So let's go back to airport info. So we are here, and they want us to go Bravo Alpha. Or was it Alpha Bravo? Bravo Alpha. So sometimes they're not correct here, and the charts are different from what the ATC ground wants you to do. So this is Alpha, and I guess we should be taxiing to general aviation parking using Bravo Alpha. So we'll just follow Alpha here and find our find our parking spot.
Portland ground exit jet 162, request taxi to the gate.
Yeah, I think this is where we need to be. Yeah, I can see our guys over there. Alright. That was rather quick, but nicely done.